We want to bring in Democratic Congressman of Arizona, Greg Stanton. Congressman, welcome in. Good to have you as well on this Friday night. And first, I just want to get your reaction to this firing, the president firing the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
It's incredibly dangerous that the president, because he's unhappy with the statistical report, this important statistical report, has decided to fire the director of the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
And Congressman, what do you make of the president's argument here that in some form or fashion, in his estimation, without providing any evidence, these numbers out of this nonpartisan agency that always does these reports are, in his characterization, phony?
Well, look, there are two ways to look at that. First and foremost, the president's unwillingness to deal with the facts of the report. This is a very disturbing report about the state of the American economy, an indication that job growth is not happening. They had to revise downward the last 2 months, so it's been a really rough summer from a jobs perspective. Unemployment is up. Inflation is up. The president is unwilling to deal with the facts that his policies are helping to lead to decreased employment. And then secondarily, the authoritarian nature of firing a government official, a statistician, a nonpartisan official who has presented information that you simply don't like.
So in my day job, Congressman, I'm the Capitol Hill correspondent here at ABC News. I'm only moonlighting here at this desk, and I talk to a lot of your colleagues, particularly your Republican colleagues, on a daily basis. And one of the things they so often say is that the president is underestimated when it comes to the economy, that these tariffs have extracted in some way trade deals out of the European Union. They forced China to the table. There are other emerging trade deals as well that the president has struck or is in the process of striking, that people often underestimate the president and that he does deliver. Is that argument in some way, shape, or form somewhat accurate?
No, it's not. Look, he knew the impact of these high tariffs and the uncertainty of the tariffs. The high tariffs are a tax on the American people. The high tariffs increase the cost of doing business inside the United States. It's the reason why so many people actually in business have asked the president to not engage in these high tariffs. We knew that inflation would be an impact. We knew that lower job numbers would be an impact. He was warned about that. Now, he may want to brag about additional resources being brought to the government and in the form of this tax on the American people. Okay, but you don't get the good side without the downside. There's a reason why he was warned that the exact impact that has occurred would be the impact. He knew that going in advance. So this is just a reality of the economic approach that he has taken. And for him to respond to it by simply firing the referee, if you will, firing the statistician that presents this accurate information. Look, it's dangerous in so many regards. The American people and the world economy depends on the United States. We're the leading economy on planet Earth, in part because they trust the information coming out of the government, whether it be interest rates proposed by Jay Powell at the Fed, who need to remain independent, or whether it's accurate information coming out of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The trust that the world has in the American economy is one of the main reasons why we are the world's leading economy. We cannot retreat one bit. And the firing of the statistician in charge of the Bureau of Labor Statistics is a huge step in the wrong direction in terms of confidence in the information that the American people are receiving.
I want to quickly play you something that you may have seen, our audience may not have. This moment at a town hall last night with your Republican colleague on the other side of the aisle, Congressman Brian Stile, Chairman Brian Stile. Here's a little bit of that town hall, a back and forth between a constituent and Stile on tariffs.
I would like to know what dire economic circumstances put Trump in a position of throwing tariffs on over 190 countries.
This really, at its core, needs to be an opportunity to make sure that other countries are treating the United States fairly. The United States...
I know he got booed there, but does he in a way have a point that this trade conversation is ultimately about fairness?
Well, let's have that conversation, but that conversation should occur in the United States Congress. The problem what the president has done is by declaring a national emergency and unilaterally issue these tariffs is illegal. Congress is the entity that is supposed to do tax policy, revenue policy, and trade policy. But these Republicans won't stand up to Trump in any regard. And so Trump is illegally putting forward these tariffs where the real discussion, the real debate on that should be inside the United States Congress. So if Congressman Style wants to have that debate, let's have that debate, but it should happen in the United States Congress. But these Republican members of Congress are just kowtowing to this president. They're afraid of this president. It's more like a cult of personality as how they're treating this president instead of standing up for the institution of Congress. So these tariffs, whether you like them or not, I happen to not like them. I think it's bad economic policy. But under the American Constitution, those decisions should be made by Congress, not by the president.
Congressman Greg Stanton on this Friday night. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much.